Vida asked him to prep dinner, but his skilled knife work made her panic. Trouble? He questioned Dasio in an ancient language. Do you remember the epic fight between the gods? Dasio didn't expect to understand him and replied confidently, You'll pay for your misdeeds. At this moment, Vida finally realized he'd just dug his own grave. He immediately unleashed vicious hellhounds, ready for a heart-pounding chase. Dasio sensed danger was near. The hellhounds behind him turned exceedingly ferocious, clouding Dasio's mind. He didn't see that bite coming. Suddenly, a dog pounced, tearing him. Iron-bodied Dasio was no match for the dog's strength. Dasio was in peril, but at the critical moment, thunder power erupted within him, seizing the hellhound's jaw. He twisted sharply, turning the hellhound 180 degrees. Vida arrived to find the dog MIA. Vida was heartbroken, thinking, I should have posted a pic on Instagram with him. He went home to tell his mom, I got bitten by a hellhound. But Mum didn't believe him because there wasn't a single mark on him. She suspected he was on drugs. Angry, Dasio punched through the roof, cautious not to use that skill. Heartbroken, Vida wanted revenge on Dasio. His wife tried to intervene, but got slapped away like his wife was no pushover. She drew her weapon, glared, and said coldly, no progress in 3,000 years. Vida finally softened, aiming to exhaust Dasio mentally and physically. Soon, they sprang into action. The police showed the tragically dead dog photos and insisted Dasio was the culprit. Uninjured Thor was falsely accused as the aggressor, a tragedy. This is just the start of the psychological war. Real tricks await. They confiscated Dasio's phone, cutting him off from the outside world, and spread rumors he was mentally ill. He was totally isolated, hitting rock bottom, until his cool uncle brought good news. He found water samples his daughter collected before her demise. If the samples contained harmful substances, it could be a weapon for counterattack. He approached his biology teacher for help with the tests. But nothing escaped the principal's sharp eyes. He was called to the principal's office before the plan even started. Everyone was against him. It was a huge family comedy. Turns out, his mom saw his report letter and was scared of losing her job, so she snitched to the principal. What a mess. The biology teacher, finding a conscience, told Dasio, there's definitely a problem with that water. You're right, there's a big problem in this town. However, Dasio ignored him. What good would knowing do? No one would believe him anyway. His aunt's phone brought him a lucky break. He opened the album and found a cave hidden in Dingqiangxia. There's a big iron door in the cave with a sign saying, no entry. Could this be the gateway to a new life? Dasio walked into the cave, forcefully unlocked the door, and was confronted with a heap of enormous barrels. Are they actually making juice here? Turns out the cops colluded with factory folks, tipping off the boss Vida to move the goods. What a shady business plot. Vida warned him, don't poke your nose in. Dasio stood his ground and shot back a defiant glare. Vida then used his wife's authority to get all students to write letters accusing Dasio of violent tendencies. What a shameless act. The poor Dasio was labelled as insane and thrown out of school. What a tragedy. Mom didn't help him and instead was relieved he was only mentally off. What a protective mother. She knew he wasn't sick but had to bite her tongue to keep peace in the family. She was merciless to her son Zaiaoi, lovingly punching him every day because Zaiaoi was too naive. Zaiaoi brought compensation to her employees at work. When Vida found out, she faced a raffle storm at home. Upon discovering Zaiaoi was dating a human, Vida's fury peaked, and she slapped Zaiaoi. She threatened Zaiaoi, if you don't kill your girlfriend, I'll reclaim you as my child. Zaiaoi's heart raced at this order. How could she go through with it? She found Dasio and told him the chemical barrels were hidden at the port. Dude, hurry up. After going home, she sneakily returned the photo, thinking she'd pulled off the perfect crime. But as soon as she stepped outside, her family caught her red-handed. So naive to think she could hide it. Vida, who loathed betrayal, threatened Zaiaoi, if you don't kill your girlfriend, you can forget about living. Zaiaoi was confused, thinking, what should I do for true love? Just then, Dasio arrived, sweeping the scene like a hero with a big surprise for the boy. The boy struggled, grabbing the hammer, but couldn't withstand Dasio's attack. The boy was beaten to the ground, and Dasio aimed to finish him off. But his girlfriend instinctively jumped in. Dasio looked at the girl in confusion. What are you doing here? Just then, a suited man appeared. It was the boy's father, Vida. Dasio immediately felt tense. He quickly threw the hammer, but got slapped away by Vida, creating a chaotic scene with noises like iron clashing. Dacio hit like a nail on stone, while Vida stood his ground. The scene was hilarious yet heartwarming.